Welcome to Win Gear, guys. This week's episode is all about luxurious toys. We start off with one of the sexiest Italian bikes around, the Ducati 899 Panigale. Then we hop over to Bangsa to check out Regal Valley and see how those boys teach you how to keep your car looking tip-top. And finally, a baby SUV, but a very fast one, the Porsche Macan. Enjoy! My, is this going to be an exciting day of work? Because this, in the world of motorcycles, is equivalent to the Ferrari of them all. What we have over here is the Ducati 899 Panigale, and we are going to be testing it out to see if it is indeed all that every single boy dreams for it to be. Let's go. So, first things first, let's understand the birth story of the 899 Panigale, because to begin with, you just have to admit to one thing. This bike looks really good, but really its home is on the track and not on the street, simply because this bike has got everything it has on it geared towards being a racer rather than something for the street. However, that's not to say that this particular model has been tuned to also give comfort on the street. So let's understand a little bit about this bike over here. So the 899 Panigale pretty much shares the same cosmetics, the same kind of looks as its bigger brother, which is the 1199 Panigale. So it's got the same kind of look, the same kind of sex appeal, the same kind of everything. The only thing that differentiates between them is basically the power plant and some certain bits which are less, for want of a better word, exotic as compared to the bigger 1199 Panigale. Now, I mentioned about some of the exotic stuff. So, whilst you still get the Brembo double calipers up front and also the single disc out back, but when it comes to stuff like the swing arm, you get something that's slightly more conventional. Instead of very, very sexy single-sided swing arm from the 1199, you actually get the, well, normal looking conventional double-sided swing arm that you get over here. But also, the seats are slightly thicker and it's better padded, as well as these rear seat over here. So this comes to show that it's actually meant to give you a little bit more comfort. So this is pretty much the perfect compromise for a guy who wants to get a sports bike, but not wanting to have to live with the harsh realities of a track special super sports bike, right? So I mentioned Brembos, and then you also get the Showa shocks up front and also the adjustable Zags at back. So this is to provide you with a very precise and very hard riding position and also handling, but it's not going to give you that much comfort. That's definitely for sure. All the other stuff that you get on the bike is pretty much standard, and you can see that if you were to jump from this bike from the 1199, you will see a lot of similarities, and that is definitely a good thing for Ducati. Now, having said all that, what is the one thing that is needed to be done with this bike? Of course, we need to take it for a ride. Let's go. Right then, we're now on the road, and this is really where the 899 Panigale is going to shine. Alright, let me just very quickly take you through the stats of this bike. As I always say, let's crunch some numbers. Alright, so this is an 899 Panigale, just to remind you. It comes with an 898cc square V-twin, and it pushes out about 148 brake horsepower and also about 100 Newton meters of torque, making this bike extremely potent for its weight of below 200 kilograms. You can hit 100 in just over 3 seconds, and the estimated top speed is just south of 300 kilometers an hour. If you were having any doubts that this watered down version of the Big Brother 1199 Panigale is too much diluted, please don't, because this is, in all intents and purposes, a very, very capable racing bike. Okay, now this bike of course It's extremely modern. It comes with a host of safety features like ABS, traction control, engine braking control, the whole works. And it's also got a quick shifter. Now, what I found really surprising about this bike is that despite it's a super sport, it actually is much roomier than what I thought it would be. You know, it's got a lot more space, not as compact as the 848 Evo that it replaces. So whilst you are in a hunched down position, but then actually you feel like you've got some real estate between you and the front of the bike. So it gives a sense of comfort, a little sense of comfort, which I truly appreciate in this bike. Of course, the other thing that I find really surprising about this bike is the maneuverability and applicability of this whole package. It's so lightweight. It actually makes riding this bike and handling this bike a doddle because it's just so sharp. It's sharp is it doesn't quite do justice to what this bike really is because it's so precise, it's pinpoint. It takes apexes like it's in love with it. It's just so precise in every single imaginable way possible, and that is truly the hallmark of a fantastic super sports bike. Guys, there's one word I would use to describe this bike, is that it is hot. It is a hot motorcycle, and I'm talking in every single sense of the word, right? Hotness because it's hot to look at, it's got hot performance, and it really is kind of hot with the air, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. But in short, this is the ultimate bike for guys out there who want to get a super sports bike, who's thinking, hey, I want to be like Valentino Rossi, or you know, any of the other MotoGP, or even Tom Sykes, the World Superbike champion, you know, that kind of guys. This is a bike that's going to actually give you the kind of performance that you want. But just because it's 899cc instead of an over 1000cc, don't think for 1 second that this bike is going to skimp on performance, because it definitely does not. This is a Ducati at the end of the day, so it gives you sexiness but also oodles of performance, and there is absolutely nothing you could fault with this bike if you were looking for a super sports bike. Alright, so this is the Ducati 899 Panigale, and another one that is going to go up in my wall as a poster boy.